Okay, welcome everybody. Mic check, my check. Mr. KEEMA, you in the building? This is a sound check.
I am.
Sound check, just waiting. Mr. KEEMA, you in the building? Oh yeah, we sounding good, brother.
Sound check.
Sound check. Yeah, keep talking, Mr. KEEMA. Oh yeah, we sounding good, brother.
All right, I'm here. Ready to get started.
Yeah, keep talking, Mr. KEEMA. Oh yeah, we sounding good, brother.
All right, I'm here. Ready to get started.
Yeah, keep talking, Mr. KEEMA. Oh yeah, we sounding good, brother. That's my phone. That's the bouncing. But I want to make sure we sound clear, so I'm waiting on sick, really. Waiting on somebody. I'm waiting for a sound check. Okay, I think I hear double. Do you still hear it? Because I turned my phone down. It was my phone. So do you still hear double now?
No.
Oh, you're on there too now, KEEMA. You can hear me. Do you?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me just clear.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Sick's in there. Sick. How does Mr. KEEMA sound? What's up, Dirt Griggity? What up, man? Trying to get Mr. KEEMA on here. I want to make sure that we are sounding as clear as possible. This is his first time, so okay, good now. So, Mr. KEEMA, you talk, and I'm gonna be quiet. Say hello to everybody. But KEEMA. Oh, KEEMA is a double. Oh, KEEMA. Okay, so whatever you listening to, you turn that off and just keep your original area on. So if you're looking on your phone or something, turn the volume all the way down. Or your TV or whatever, turn it all the way down, Mr. KEEMA.
No, I got the TV down.
Okay, now how does Mr. KEEMA sound, y'all? Keep talking, KEEMA. Just say something. So just say anything.
Yeah. The Xbox gamers and fans.
6A said both are good. So okay, so KEEMA sounds good. He ain't bouncing around. You don't hear no double no more. And I sound good. I just want to hear get that verification, y'all.
All right.
He said still an echo. Okay, KEEMA, you still a double. So do you have anything going around you?
No, just the TV.
Okay, turn your TV off. Turn it off and see what happens. No, not your off button, because that'll cut your head. No, yeah, turn your TV off and see what happens.
I thought I turned the volume down.
Yeah, turn the volume down. Yeah, mute it or hit mute.
Okay, well, volume's already down.
Saying KEEMA's still an echo. It might be me. What do you mean? It might be me. Hold on. Mines are down. Everything is down on my end. Okay, hold on. Maybe let me see. Let me turn that off. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's on his Xbox. He's on his Xbox. But I turned my TV off. KEEMA, say something now.
All right, good afternoon, Xbox gamers.
You know what? I think I know what it is. Hold on. It could be. He might be bouncing from my mic, from my headset. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay, now say something, KEEMA.
All right, can y'all hear me good?
That's what I was saying. Let me turn my headset off because I may not need it. Hold on. Okay, how do I sound now? Okay, KEEMA, say something now. Say something now, KEEMA. Right, KEEMA, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, now how does KEEMA sound? I just want to make sure you sounded good because he's right. It could be feeding something. Can't hear KEEMA at all now. Whoa. KEEMA, say something again?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you through
Hear
my.
me good now?
Okay, let me turn my phone up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I can hear you.
Still an echo. That's weird because I don't hear an echo.
Yeah, I hear you now. I can hear you.
Still an echo. That's weird because I don't hear an echo.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh yeah, the echo. Yeah, I hear that echo. That's because I got that phone on. I was trying to check them. Let me go on live real quick. Let me test this. Hold on. Give me a second. Gonna get this right, y'all. I'm trying. Hold on. Gonna fix this up for him. It's just a test. Yes. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. Okay, give me a second. Let me cut my phone off. And let's see if that's it. Could be just the phone. It could be just the phone bouncing. Okay, so can y'all still hear me? Because I turned my phone off.
Yeah, I hear you clearly.
Right, I hear you clearly too. I just turned my phone off, so I'm just waiting to see what they have to say. I'm more interested in you now. All right, let me know what KEEMA sound like. I turned my phone off. Say something, KEEMA. Keep saying something. You sound, but KEEMA is still echoing. That's weird.
Am I still echoing now?
On my end, you don't sound like you're echoing, but on their end, you sound like you're echoing. That's the weird part about it, because I can't tell. Like, that's why I'm asking them, because on that end, it's echoing for some reason, and that's weird. Because I done turned my phone off, my TV's off, everything on my end is turned off. You got your TV, you got your phone off, KEEMA?
Yeah, my phone is off. Hold on for a minute. Let me make sure my tablet is off.
Okay. Okay. I hurried up and rushed in here. Title all screwed up. Everything's all messed up. Just trying to get something quick. I'll delete it off, but we'll start this over as soon as I get this thing situated with them. Right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You know when people ain't never done this before, man. This stuff is normal. This type of stuff be happening, so I tend to not try to let it get to me. I mean, it's frustrating. You just be trying to get people out here and get their voice heard. You know how it is.
All right, what about now?
And you're bouncing off my. I mean, I can hear you, but that shouldn't be the reason. Keep talking.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
You don't sound like you're bouncing to me. How am I sounding? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you clearly.
You can hear me clearly. Everybody out there can hear me. Dirt, you can hear me. Sick, you can hear me. If he has headphones, he can use his phone. If he has headphones.
My phone been tripping today. It keeps
Okay, T-River said I
buffering.
sound good.
Wi-Fi is not good right now on my phone.
But KEEMA is echoing. KEEMA speaks some more. Okay, KEEMA, keep talking, KEEMA. Keep talking. They say keep talking, KEEMA. Keep talking.
All right, yeah.
He good now. Oh, you good. That's it. All right.
All right.
Well, damn. I should. Okay, hold on. Let me edit this video. Let me see if I can edit it, and we'll just take off. There we go. I'm just gonna edit. Let me see here. All right, man. I'll be dead gone. As soon as I punched in one more word. Hold on. I know what to do. There we go. And we'll save that. All right. So here we go. Okay, that's a mic check moment. Everybody's good, right? Everybody's good. Good. Everybody's good.
We all good.
Yes. Okay. All right, man. That's music to my ears. So what I'm gonna do, okay? I'm turning my TV back on so I can narrate. Y'all let me know if anything happens. If something happens, then I'm gonna freestyle this. I'll just talk directly to him and won't do nothing else. So I'm gonna make sure I put mute, and we'll work it from there. Keep my headset close to me. Let me get all this situated. I want to say thanks to everybody being patient with KEEMA and I. Just trying to get this thing situated right, man. That's all we're trying to do. So really appreciate it. I'm gonna get this situated right in front of me. Okay. What's good, everybody? Yeah, exactly, man. We got to do something for him. This dude, we're gonna start this off. Okay, well, all right, everybody. So everything is looking good. We're gonna have some fun with this today. All right. Thanks to everybody coming out. Y'all, everybody out here that has a channel that's here today. I want to give a special shout out. Special shout out to Dirt Griggity. Special shout out to my man Six Slayer. Normally Six Slayer guests with me. He represents the 108 Dragon podcast over there with his boy Lemon and them. They do their thing. Shout outs to 100 from Intro Media Gaming. He's been doing his thing as well. So everybody out there that has a channel and knows what it is to grind and just do this stuff for the fun of it. Shout outs to you. I got my man T Reaper, a good old friend of mine as well, a Halo King as well, sitting up in here, man, on his afternoon, coming up on here on Di-RRec Gaming. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all around the world, you could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to come out here and chill with me on Di-RRec Gaming. This is an original show today. I got a topic as well. But we're going to basically go in to a little history standpoint. I got somebody here, a huge supporter of the Xbox community, somebody who we've never heard before on a podcast, but we know about him out here in these gaming streets. He's well known out here on the Twitter world, on the Twitter feeds, always supporting, always putting up good content. Doesn't bother nobody, he isn't a troll, none of that. He's none of the negatives, but a major positive within the Xbox community. And I've known this guy for over 5 years. And I just felt like, the time is now for me to represent this guy and tell y'all a little story about me and him, because this guy doesn't, he's very humble, very humble. I don't want to give too much of the introduction because I want to save some for the origins of when I talk about him. But ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, I got the mighty Mr. KEEMA in the building. Give it up. How you doing, man?
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here.
Yes, sir, man. All right, Mr. KEEMA, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it a little bit with us, man. And you feel free to jump in at any time. We go back, man. We go back. Man, a lot of people don't know this, but there's one person other than Mr. KEEMA. His name is Israel Rulez, another Xbox gamer. I kind of met them in similar times, right? Israel, of course. So another Texas representative. Look, this is a Texas representative thing right now, right? We represent Texas, man. He from the H-Town. My man's from D-Town, and I'm from the other A-Town, the double A-Town. I'm from the Arlington, not the Austin, but, like a double A. Austin is a triple A. I'm the double A. But I'm part of the Golden Triangle. So it's Denton, Fort Worth, Arlington, which is the Metropolitan of Fort Worth and Dallas, and then from Dallas back to Denton. So our area is called the Golden Triangle. If you've never been to Texas, that's our area. And Mr. KEEMA doesn't live far from me at all. Now, I didn't know this in the beginning when I met him, but I'm leading up to this story, man, because I want to give you some homage today, Mr. KEEMA. Originally, y'all, I never was the type of person that was on social media. That was never me when it came to me being in the gaming streets or dealing with the gaming community. If I wasn't strictly from my neighborhood or off the strict console, then I was probably up in GameStop or something, but that was it, you know. I come from an era where we played tournaments in my neighborhood. We were trying to do things to stay out of the streets. And gaming was something that gave me an avenue. And I don't want to elaborate too much on that because one day I'll have my personal interview. So I don't want to elaborate too much on that, but gaming kept me safe. We know these things, right? So I would start going on to articles, okay? Eventually start going on to articles. And I think the way I fell on articles is when I was dealing with GameStop and on their TVs and stuff. I would see like IGN and things like that through the Game Informer magazines. And I started going online and stuff, looking up things. And I would notice that certain articles would be talking about games. I really never was an article person because I came up in the era where the gaming magazines existed. We would just go to the bookstores or whatever, or to the shopping centers and just pick up one of the gaming magazines, right, KEEMA? You know? So
Right.
I never had to deal with online. So eventually YouTube, you know, came out and everything. So I'll be watching YouTube and I noticed that GameSpot, you know, had their little articles. And you could leave comments below before it got crazy. You could just leave your comments if you signed yourself in and everything and register up for their comment sections. And that's where the beginning of I began my social interactions. And I learned early with no bias, no history of being online, none of that. I was a straight noob. And all I wanted to do was get my perspectives out. And this is a true story. I was talking about on a GameSpot article in the feeds. And this is true, right? This is a true story. I'm not lying about any of this. I was talking about, because it was in 2013, y'all. They were talking about the sales numbers of Microsoft and PlayStation. And I think it was going around early 2014. It might have been the first 3 months of 2014, right around there, right? And I saw somebody named Israel up in there. And Israel be going in. He would just be like, these numbers don't sound right, the way things are. Because Israel used to have a PlayStation himself. He had just converted over to Xbox. He loved Xbox in the 360 era. And so he was in the article feeds just putting his 2 cents in. Nobody was trolling. Nobody was doing anything, right? So I had backed Israel up in one of his comments. Now, I don't know Israel, but I saw what he was saying. And I was like, this dude knows what he's talking about, right? So I backed him up. And I think I was bringing up the numbers or something. We were like, it just doesn't sound right. We wasn't saying anything, wasn't bashing anything. And I got banned for 3 days off the GameSpot article. Banned. Didn't I wasn't negative or anything. Got the email confirmation. I was like, what? And they were telling me that they didn't appreciate how I was putting the numbers up about Sony. Look, one day, if I really felt like it, I can go back into my archives and actually find this email. And I told them, I responded back to them, I'm a grown man. And I haven't, disrespected anybody, but I should be able to say what I want to say, just like everybody else saying what they want to say. I didn't disrespect anybody. They didn't. And I said, I'm going to continue after 3 days, come back on there and say what I want to say. And if y'all want to ban me, then ban me. But I'm not being disrespectful or negative to anybody, so I don't see why I got banned, right? So that was funny, was fishy, right? So when I came back 3 days, I noticed Israel wasn't around. And then all of a sudden, Israel catches me in an article one day. And he was like, hey, man, listen, man, I got banned. I don't know what they're going to do with me. But, hey, you got Facebook or something? And he was like, you always been backing me up, and you know what you're talking about, too. This is real, y'all. This is real. And this is the beauty of the Xbox community. And he was like, yo, hit me up, man, if you can. Or he was like, if you don't have that, here's my Xbox gamer tag. Send me a message. So we sent each other a message. And we became friends. Xbox friends, just like that. And Israel is the person who founded the DX-Men of the DX Mansion. It really wasn't that at first. It was actually Windows 10, the world of Windows 10 and Xbox. And everybody decided to go with the DX-Men of the DX Mansion. Now it's just the DX Mansion. And Israel, you know, he's got his job, and he's taking care of his business. So we met like that. Well, it wasn't too much longer, y'all, that once I got on Facebook and realized there was Xbox groups out here, and there's where you come in, Mr. KEEMA, that I did the same thing. Now, what was funny was, and Mr. KEEMA, you can come in and jump in at any time. We were in Xbox groups, right? And it got funny to me that anytime somebody would come up with some facts about Xbox, you would get ridiculed. And I remember meeting Mr. KEEMA because you would always put out those facts, man. You be putting out that good source of information out to everybody all the time. And I noticed you was catching hate for it. And I was like, why is this dude catching hate when he's in the Xbox group? And you remember I reached out to you. And I was like, yo, what? I was like, what's going on? And you told me. I don't understand it. So me and you got out of some Xbox groups and you started schooling me because you found out I didn't really know. I was new to being on social media and I was asking questions. Mr. KEEMA took me under his wing. All right? This is the new legal. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This dude took me under his wing. All right? This is the first things he told me about 6 years ago. He says, look, man, I've been seeing some of the stuff you write. I've been seeing some of the stuff you post. He was like, bro, one day I can see you with your own show. I can see you with a podcast or something on YouTube. But whatever you got to do, you got to get your voice heard out here. And this is what he told me. But before you do that, man, I'm going to throw you in some of these groups and you're going to go at it. You're going to go at it because I want you to learn who's who out here. And did you not tell me that? About 6 years ago, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we met on that Facebook group, Extreme Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Extreme Xbox, and you know, you had some admins in that group. You know, they were like PlayStation gamers in the Xbox group, but they was like taking down my posts and stuff. And you know, they would do stuff like that to aggravate you. And they, you know, that's what people did. You know, this when the Xbox was back in 2015. Xbox was going through rough time with the media and stuff. You know, it was, you know, and that's when I met you. You had commented on one of my posts, and I had sent you a message on Facebook. And I was, you know, I said I appreciate what you liking my posts and stuff. And from there, we just started chatting about, you know, Xbox and what's going on and media, you know, 2015. And it was real bad, all the negativity and all the personal attacks. It was wild back then.
It sure was, man. And I wouldn't be here, brother, if it wasn't for you, man. All those calls you used to make to me, like me and Mr. KEEMA are brothers, man. It's a close relationship here. Like this guy calls me, man. He'll call me. It may be 4 months down the road, but he'll hit me up just to check on me, see how I'm doing, and I do the same. But some of our talks are golden, man. And I talked to this guy. This guy has a lot of gaming knowledge when it comes to the social media aspect and who's who and who to look at and who to stay away from and things like that. He's helped me so much that I'll never forget, man, that you told me that. And then when I meet this guy that owns a gaming store in 2017, he hits me up and tells me that, hey man, you need to get you a show. And I'll never forget this is on the channel. You know, all of this stuff. You can go back and look at my channel and you'll see all the history. And that was one of the things that Di-RRec Gaming wanted to do. They wanted to, and Reaper knows about this, because Reaper was there in my golden eras, in my golden days. Reaper was, the General, Ziggy Stardust, all these dudes, man. My Voltron crew, before any of this stuff. Even what's his name? Even Kyle from the Tick Podcast. He was there, helping me along the way. The Hebot, helping me along the way. It was so many people from the underground who took time. 100 came a little bit in the middle part. But when I was building Di-RRec Gaming, those names that I called, they was there to make sure I had a mic check. That's why I appreciate when Dirk Griggity and Reaper and Sick came up on here to confirm my mic checks. That's old stuff for me. I don't have $1,000, $4,000, $3,000 worth of equipment when I'm doing this stuff. I represent the bottom, man. And I love it down here because I want people to understand it shouldn't be about what you have. It should be about what you're saying. And I think a lot of people, Mr. KEEMA, they get discouraged about doing this stuff because they feel like they have to look a certain way in order to be accepted. Ashtray Gaming put out something yesterday on Twitter when he says, man, what you got to do to be popular around here in Twitter, you either got to be a YouTuber or act like an idiot. And he has a point. You know, people actually feel like that. They feel that way and they shouldn't. We as an Xbox community should embrace all aspects of our communities. We should make everybody feel like somebody. We shouldn't think that because we're YouTubers and we have channels that we're better than people. That's crazy to me. And this
yeah, I noticed that, but
Reaper stupid. I remember that.
I'm not a YouTuber, but I'm always reaching out to people.
That's right. You always been that person to support. And y'all don't know, man. Y'all just don't know how hard it was. Dude, I've been messing with this guy for about, 2 years now to get on? I finally got him to come on. Finally. It took forever to get Mr. KEEMA on. It took me forever. But I made a deal with him. I told him. And like I said, y'all, I can't thank all my supporters enough. Because I came about this differently. A lot of people that supported me are straight off of Xbox. I didn't have a strong following on social media. So my following had to come out of the box. It had to come out of there. Getting people to talk. Mixer was heavy for me. Mixer really helped me out a lot. But, with you, man, it's funny because a lot of people don't really know who you are. And if they ever did, man, it would blow them away because you are a massive supporter for so many people. It's crazy. And I remember when you was getting tired, man, and I told you, well, stop supporting so much. You got to cut back because this guy has so much passion, especially trying to support those that are like him. We're trying to support a lot of black YouTubers. We're trying to get black YouTubers to support each other a lot more. Say it because that's a problem with us. We tend to not support each other, and we wonder why our our empires are low class, are low grade when people think about us. But if we show the same kind of love we show for other people, they wouldn't think so bad about us a lot. Because it's all about perception, right? This is all about perception, man. And so my way, I always wanted to do something different. I never wanted to be a YouTuber. And I still say I'm not. I just have a channel. I'm a gamer. And I represent people like Mr. KEEMA. Those are my origins. I represent supporting people. Building up stuff. You know, I've been a part of the Clutch Win. I have my own gaming group. I've been on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Xbox Live, got a club. So it's not like I just be on Twitter and I'm just somebody who, you know, I want you to sub to my channel. I'm involved in other places. Even out here, I'm involved. We got eSports Stadium out here. I'm involved. Out there with Teknoblast. Out here. We're still trying to come up with something because we have a passion and we want gamers to see how fun it is being gamers in real time. You know, this stuff here, I've been doing this. This isn't nothing new. It's just, hey, now I finally got a platform. And I'm not doing this. This is from the bottom of my heart. I enjoy this. You prophesied this. I made it. I give you all the credit, bro. The new legal is sitting right here. I made it on bare minimum milestones. I said I just wanted to get a chat going, and I just wanted to hit 1,000 subs, man. And I did it with the help of all the viewers and supporters out there. Because you can't do this by yourself. That's why you're never a nobody. Always stay humble. Mr. KEEMA would tell me, man, stay humble. You always told me that, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay humble. You know, be yourself. You know, don't change for anybody. That's always. You know, that's how I was raised up. Just stay humble. Be yourself. Don't change for anyone to be accepted. You know, and actually I learned that from my mother and my uncles and all that growing up. You know, and that's how I was raised. You know, to be yourself, don't change for anyone. But then too, you know, I did support a lot of people. You know, back then back in 2015, 2014,
Right.
2015 on Facebook. You
Right.
know, trying to support all the Xbox Facebook's group because you know I was trying to get all the positive news for Xbox because you know 2014, 2015, 2016 we know were rough times for Xbox. All the negative news, negative articles. There was
Yeah.
really nothing positive going, you know, and that's why you know I was doing so much on Facebook, and then you finally see you know people leaving Facebook, and you know, and then I got burned out, and I just stopped, you know, and I said, well, I'm just going to support a page, and then I did that, and I think in 2017, that's when I went to Twitter, uh, and that's when I went to Twitter. Actually, I was in Twitter in 2016, and I had lost my information to that Twitter account in 2016, so I had to start a new account in 2017. So actually, that's when I started Twitter. And you know, there's a lot of things that you know I was just mad at the media about, and if you really want to know, I was actually a one of the original Xbox poster on a PlayStation group called PlayStation Universe. You know, they had an Xbox group that actually, this is back in 2010, it actually grew bigger than the actual PlayStation group. And, you know, So I started there, and then 2011, 2012 just started changing. Then then the Xbox E3 thing happened, and then that's when people start personal attacking you for liking Xbox back then, and M4G and NeoGaf, you know. Actually, those sites were actually good gaming sites to go to before that 2013. Uh, but when after that, those sites flipped over to PlayStation, and I would never forget what happened on NeoGaf. They started banning all the Xbox gamers and supporters. You couldn't say anything nice about Xbox or post anything positive on NeoGaf back then. And so I just left. I just stayed with Facebook for a while. That's part of my history with the Xbox back then. Is just that I saw that things were changing, and N4G just became just a pig pen for for hate against Xbox. I just left.
Yeah, I understand. It did get kind of heavy out there, and it got to the point where it wasn't even fun anymore. It did for a minute, because I even will tell you, man, just get out of that stuff, man. Get out of that stuff, because it got real silly, And honestly, man, the internet is a funny place. It really is. It's a funny, weird place, because people sometimes think that this is you. This is who you really are 24/7. Look, I just had 2 basketball games with my son this morning. That's my real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not on Twitter all day long. Twitter is not my life. I have a life. Twitter is a form of entertainment that I do when I'm at work to kill time away. But I'm not a person on Twitter hating people. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm hating people. Not like hating, but like, I hate you. That don't exist with me, man, because I don't know you. I'm not hating somebody because they don't like what I like. But there's people on the internet that hate you because you like Xbox. That's weirdo stuff. There's people who won't even fool with you, who won't even get to know you because you talk to somebody else that they don't like. I've learned these things through Mr. KEEMA early on. And I've noticed these things. And one thing I've learned is you make yourself concrete. You don't make yourself a pebble around here. You make yourself concrete. And you let your actions speak for yourself. You don't, and don't play that middle school stuff. Just because that person deals with somebody you may not like, this ain't middle school, man. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So you stay cool with that person because he's cool with you. Being an issue is when it's between you and that person, not who that person deals with. Because in real time, that person doesn't deal with everybody you deal with, and that's vice versa. But it's real funny out here. People get a misconception about you, man, and without even knowing who you really are, that's how they judge you. You get judged. And I've noticed, you're judged by who you hanging around with. Things like that, or who you know. But this is the web. Do you know the algorithm is huge? When I represent the Xbox community, I'm getting it all. Even people I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We're on the internet. So there's people that I don't who know that look at me. And everybody's going to form their opinions about everybody. But the bottom line is you don't know everybody. So therefore, you just keep it simple on social web. You keep it simple there. And just give respect. If somebody gives you respect, just give them back. Give them back respect. Don't keep in your mind of who they kicking it with, who they hanging with. As long as they're giving you the respect, you give them the respect. and keep it moving. You don't be trying to change your Tony. That's fake, man. And if you're doing that on the internet, then there's no telling who you really are in real life. Don't play yourself out for this stuff because it ain't that serious, man. It's not that serious.
No.
And that's what I value about our friendship, man, our brotherhood. I wanted to, kick it off about Mr. KEEMA and let y'all hear him, man, and get you a feel of being a guest, because really you're not a guest. That phone. Now, hey, you having a Six Slayer moment right now. Yo, it's live and direct. We got a live and direct moment. The phone is on Di-RRec Gaming, man. Give it up for the phone, everybody. Yo! That's what I'm talking about. The phone in the building. But it's one of those things where I appreciate you, man. Because six years strong on the internet and then on the phone, knowing each other, man. We're Texas natives, man. We're here, we live here, and just to know you're not too far from me, to know Teknoblast is not too far from me, or the people down south of us, man, they're not too far from us, man. And we have a good Texas support system around here. Texas is huge in gaming, y'all. Very huge. We got our Pac South down here. I can't wait to go. I was trying to go the last 2 years, man, but it was always something popping off. So I want to go this winter, man, and head to San Antonio. We got that. I want to go down there, man. I want to get involved. It's fun. Gaming is fun, and I want to experience a lot more, This is fun stuff, man. So I appreciate you, Mr. KEEMA. I just wanted everybody to know that Mr. KEEMA is my brother, a good friend of mine. I know we don't talk about it on social media, but now y'all know that there would not be. I went from legal felon to the new legal felon to the new legal. It was a transition, and the new legal was strictly from Tick Podcast, man, and it was about growth, And I like the new legal, because the legal felon, those were my Gears of War 3 days, man. It had to be. I had to have a game attack that was just vicious, Had to have something that was that correlate to all the kills I was getting on that game. So I wanted to make an oxymoron, so a legal felon, and that was it. And it was Aaron Griffin all day, 24/7. I didn't hide behind no female characters or slim characters and none of that. Nah, you got body. And then I used the starter kits, the Snub National Lancer. You catch it all day. I didn't switch up, no retro Lancers, none of that. So y'all know what the business was, man. And those were good times, good days. Like I got quick. That's how I met T Reaper. We met each other off of Upload Studios, man, with our clips. Every other week, this dude was in the top 10 with his Halo clips, working for. And we finally met each other on social media in a gaming group, and we kind of sniffed each other out. Was like, yo, that's you. So you never know. The Xbox community has been so good to me. There's a lot of people who I met by just off of Xbox and through social media by chance. Met them on the Xbox first, and then really found out who they are in real time on social media by just chance. But the Xbox community has been good to me. I can't abandon it. I can't front on it. You know what I'm saying? And the good part, there's positives about never being a flip-flopper. They think that we just be saying these things. But we're not just saying these things, right? Because when you're a flip-flopper, you don't really stay to build a community up. You don't go through that transition. So because I stayed along with Mr. KEEMA and many others through the 2013 all the way up to now, we really cherish the work that's been going on. Because you think we just sat around. We didn't just sit around. We put feedback in. We told Microsoft what we like, what we don't like, what we think we should have. And now we're reaping a lot of the benefits for never being a flip-flopper. And it's only going to get worse as it gets better. People who really don't like Xbox, get an Xbox, man. Stop fronting. It's the best console out. That S makes it really hard not to have one. I mean, get an Xbox, man. That's all I got to say about that. And get yourself a next generation. That's what we've been waiting for. Everybody's been waiting for that. There's no reason to be fronting. Now, if you're a PlayStation fan and you really love PlayStation fan, our only thing, stop it with the everything is okay attitude. Because everything is not okay. Stop with being a settler. Stop settling. That's going to be your new nickname, settlers. Stop being a settler, man. It's nothing wrong with you demanding better from the gaming company that you prefer, that you put your hard-earned work money towards. Remember, gaming is different. What makes gaming unique, it's not like a dealership, right, KEEMA? It's not like we go up to a dealership and you talk to somebody who's selling you a car and that's it. And you just form a relationship through him with cars. And you just buy cars from that guy throughout the years. Nah, man. This community of Xbox is so beautiful because even the people in the upper echelons, they respond to us. They're humble. They come down and mingle with us. You know, and they get a personal, direct relationship of how the gaming community operates by just listening to what we got to say, by coming down and seeing what it is that's about us. They learn just like we learn about them. They learn about us. And that's what makes the relationship of the Xbox community a great thing. You see that. Yeah. It's unlike anything else.
I just want to interject. Yeah, I was, when I never forget when I first started working, and I think I was in my, I think I was 19 or 20 years old. A Air Force guy, he told me, whatever you do, when things are going rough and bad with the company or whatever, always stick with it. Don't just quit and leave because you'll regret it at the end. So that stayed with me ever since I've been working, since I was 19, 20 years old. So sometime when I was working with a company, things were going bad, I never quit and left like some other people did. I stayed with it, until they told me, hey, we closing down. You can no longer work here. So,
right.
I always brought that, and that's the same thing I did with Xbox. I didn't flip-flop and jump ship like some of the other people did, and then try to come back when things are going good. It just doesn't work that way. That stuff there just don't sit with me well, You bail ship and then want to come back when it's good.
You're right. It doesn't do well for the community. It never does. It never does because you're not there to build it up. And to be honest with you, that's what gaming has always been about. Community. Like I said, it's up to us if we want to carry on the BS. It's up to us if we want to accept the idiocy. If you want to accept lame stuff. It's up to us if you want to, and you would think that the gaming community took enough the last 7 years and would expect better now. Expect real stuff, but it's almost worse. People don't like the truth, man. They want those feelings scrubbed, and people are having a hard time more than ever accepting the fact that Xbox right now is doing a superb job. They just don't want to give Xbox credit. And I don't understand that. They don't understand that, Xbox is putting out games. And we're going to open up the show now. They're putting out games, right? And regardless of if they're indies or AA games, they're games. You have to get that out your mind. If they're good indie games, good AA games that deserve to be played, play them. There's nothing wrong with that. Because the first-party games are coming. But the one beautiful thing about Xbox right now is how well-rounded everything is going, right? We have our cloud. Beautiful for saves. Backwards compatibility. Interlocks with that. The new Game Pass subscription. Awesome. I mean, you can't find a better gaming service than that for the quality that Microsoft is doing with that. It's being compared to the Netflix of gaming. Halo, the hype for Halo is back. The number one game that single-handedly brought Xbox into existence is now the hype. And I'm still saying it's gonna be the Gotti. I'm still saying that. Game Pass is selling by the millions. I still got my prediction 40 million. I still got that. Parents having an easier time to make sure that their kids have some devs, no matter where they're from Nintendo, from Stadia, all the way to Xbox, no matter where they're from, right? Being able to work as hard as they've been through this pandemic. You know, a lot of this stuff matters. This stuff matters, man. And the gaming community is really doing a great job by just hanging in there. Because it could be a lot worse. Yes, there's people who are having a hard time getting a console. We know. We know how hard it is. We know how hard this stuff can be, you know? We know that it's not like it used to be right now where people can just run to a store and you know, get a console. This virus out here is dangerous. So many people have passed away. So many loved ones have passed away. And gaming has been a force bringing people together. Gaming and no longer is something corny. It's not something nerdy or something's wrong with you because you're a gamer. Gaming has become a big business to where it's so huge that anybody can get in it and be successful as long as you commit to your commitment. You know, you have a passion for a drive to be in the gaming community. It's so open right now that it's a beautiful thing. Xbox put out 2 different consoles, has given people a choice, unlike no other consoles right now. You got the S, you got the X. 2 different consoles. Our SSD works. Our memory between the 2 works. Y'all know where I'm going with that. Even when I get an upgrade, KEEMA, I don't pay for that upgrade. That smart delivery is a game changer because it makes sense. Why should I have to pay for a game twice when I already have it simply because it gets an upgrade for the newer console? Microsoft is looking after its gamers. It doesn't matter if you think that because it's all digital, something's a scam or you never own your games or whatever. That's a choice. We've been known that, but it's a choice. Because Game Pass to me, it's like an open demo. Nobody's saying you have to keep those games digitally. You can start playing that game, and if you like that game, now you can go buy it. But there are beautiful aspects about the Xbox when you're digital. It just is. Right? It just is. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing to go between your games and be able to stop, go to another game if a friend asks you to come play with them. To go to another game, play with them, and then go back and finish out your game. That's what gaming is all about, people. That's what gaming is all about. And to me, it's just time for Xbox to get its credit this year. This 20th anniversary of Xbox, and Xbox is doing no wrong. So with that, Mr. KEEMA, now I'm switching it over to PlayStation. Because you, PlayStation, you have never been able to sell me your and I have a bone to pick with you. It's time to call it like it is, people. and stop feeling like, just because somebody else is in their feelings that you can't speak your mind. We're gamers. We should be able to speak our minds. We should be able to tell the differences between things. We always have. Now, this situation with PlayStation not allowing people to transfer their saves over to their games because the game now is being put out for the PlayStation 5 is straight up ridiculous. And you're telling me that PlayStation is so great that they still haven't come up with a solution for this. Now, mind you, Mr. KEEMA, you can intercede at any time. This has been a situation, y'all, ever since the PlayStation 2. I remember when people had to go out and actually buy memory cards. Remember that?
Yeah, PS2 memory cards.
They had to go buy them. They had to go buy them. And I remember when the Xbox came out 20 years ago. 20 years ago. The OG Xbox One came out. Not one memory card did I have to go buy. And so it took off right there, people. That was a game changer for me because I remember those things weren't cheap either, KEEMA. They were like $25 a pop.
Yeah, and I remember I had to buy more than one memory card because those cards was easily to get corrupt, and you lose your you lose your saves. So what I did, I bought 2 or 3 of them, and I backed up one on the second and third one just in case the other one got corrupted. So at least you know that you have your game there. But yeah, that stuff was real expensive.
Right. I remember people used to talk about that the cards would get corrupt. Now notice what he said, y'all. He would get corrupt. So what happened to you, Mr. KEEMA? What are the type of things that happen to you when you talk about getting corrupt? Because this is crazy.
Yeah, it would get corrupt when you search for a game. You try to launch it, it won't launch at all, and then you back out of it, and then sometimes it wouldn't even recognize the game is on the card. Then you have to restart your system and reboot it, and then they kept saying the game would never launch. It would say file is not recognized, and then that's when those cards would easily corrupt. If you even barely drop it on the floor, you don't know if the card would even work because it just may damage the card.
Right. And so you're telling me once that card got corrupted, it was over. You couldn't even, there was no way of even getting your games or files back at the same, nothing.
No, because the internet and classes, all that stuff wasn't even around.
Exactly.
That stuff
Exactly.
wasn't even invented for gaming. So people had to buy, no choice but to buy 2 or 3 memory cards.
Right.
To keep backing up their save.
Facts.
Cards.
That's facts. And that's $75, man, right there. Over. Just to have that. And those things would get filled up so fast. You're so true, man. And so the fact that your memory cards would get corrupted tells you that Sony never, ever made a safe environment for their save system infrastructures, or even when it comes to being online, right? We won't even go there. But the safety of ensuring quality to you with saves has never been there. Never been there. We go over to the PlayStation. They say that the PlayStation 1, the transfer between the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 was the easiest. But what got me was the fact that once 2 and 3 got here, something wrong happened. You want to elaborate on that?
Well, the PS3.
Yeah, when the transition between the PlayStation 2. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. well, the PlayStation 2, they had the external cords. You know, th those didn't last very long because so many people, just had so many of them because they had to toss them away. Because I never forget, I had friends that had a box of cards, and he said those cards are no good. They was trash. But when the PS3 launched, they finally went internal hard drive. Just like the OG Xbox, they finally went internal. And but there was a slow writing drive that was in that thing for
Right.
like downloading and cause that thing, it was just so slow. There was there was just times that the on the PS3 that the game wouldn't even install all the way. I mean, this has happened to people back then on the PS3, the internal hard drive, that they had to start their downloads over again because after like 18 hours, the game still haven't downloaded. And the system has to start all over. That was a frustrating thing about that, the PS3. I had a PS3, and those are things I had, issues I had with it. The saves, it takes so long to download stuff. One game took 2 days to download. That was frustrating.
That's crazy.
Frustration, you buy a game on a site, and then it takes damn 2 days to download before you can play it.
Right.
That was frustrating with the PS3. The games like Heavy Rain and all that. Those games took a long time to just download from the PlayStation Network. It was bad, and sometimes the games wouldn't even load up. You have to reboot the system for the game to load up on the PS3.
Right.
There was all type of memory issues, save file issues that they never corrected. Well, some of that they finally corrected with the PS4, which actually a lot of people said it made the system a lot better. But then you get to the other ones, like the PS5, they took a whole big step backwards. And as far as like design and stuff, they just totally failed on everything.
Facts. And this is long history, man. This is a long history of stuff. I mean, you're talking about this memory issue has been going on since the PlayStation 2, from console to console to console to console. And here we are still having this same issue today where they can't transfer. And you want to know what's bad? PlayStation wants to charge them. And like you say, they will cash grab them, right? They won't just, throw out so much money. But man, think about it. For anybody that pays an extra $10, you're paying an extra $10 for nothing. For nothing. You're basically giving them free $10 because they're not taking that $10 to build you a better situation. That's not what's happening. You can't, talk about something else when you yourself is getting drugged through the mud. And you're getting drugged through the mud in front of everybody. It's not like this stuff is in the secret. Sony is doing this right in the open. Right in the open. And yet, people want to come bragging up to me, telling me they got a PlayStation. And I'm like, so what? I've always said that. I'm like, so what? I'm not getting one. It makes no sense for me to get one. It never has. You could tell me it's got these great exclusive games all you want. Their games bore me, so it doesn't matter. Their exclusive games, or they do the same thing, so it doesn't matter. To me, that's my opinion. But what matters the most to me is being able to keep my catalog. Is being able to keep my saves when I go forward. It's like PlayStation can't go forward. And now we realize why they don't truly invest in backwards compatibility. This is why. It has nothing to do with the fact that they can't do it. They don't want things to backfire. There's a lot of things that has to go into backwards compatibility for it to work. And if you're not going to do it right, then don't do it at all. So therefore, Sony is not going to do it right. So therefore, they're not going to do it at all.
Yeah.
But my problem with this, Mr. KEEMA, was why lie to your base about it? You told them they would have 1,000 games backwards compatibility when the PlayStation 5 launched.
Well, I knew that was going to be a lie because basically the PS5 using the same API as the PS4. So the PS4, PS4 Pro didn't do backwards compatibility. So they basically took the same API that does no backwards compatibility, and they applied it to the PS5. Well, when the Sony announced all that stuff, I said, well, that's a lie because that's not going to work. Because I already knew what was going on in the background. They're using the same PS4 API. So
Right.
I knew that was a lie. And the PS4 API, which is called GNMX or GMNX, which one. Well, it wasn't designed for that because when Sony was building the PS4 API, well, backwards compatibility wasn't part of that, what they was planning for the PS4, because they wasn't planning PS2 and PS1 and PS3 games to be played on that because that wasn't built into the API. So then you fast forward and moving that same API over to the PS5. Well, it doesn't do backwards compatibility. What they have to do is that they have to have engineering teams that have to go in and recode it. If you want to forward compatibility with PS5 performance, they would have to go in and recode everything, which costs them a lot of money to do. And that's why you're not seeing a lot of games like that, because it takes up too much of their time and resources. And Sony just told their whole fan base a lie, That's why I'll be trying to tell people to research things from the PS4 history to PS5. And if you really want to get into the tech stuff, just understand that what they did with the PS4, no backwards compatibility because of the API.
Right.
PS5 barely backwards compatibility because of the API.
Yep. And you want to know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
Where are those backwards compatibility games right now? Where are they? Where are they?
They stuck in PlayStation now.
That's it.
They making you pay for.
There you go. There you go.
Backwards compatibility.
There you go. Now, why would you pay for games that you already have? Now, notice this was destroyed in last gen about Xbox. And it's funny because the funny part about it, when Microsoft actually does something that's good for the gaming community, people who backlash say, oh, they're only doing this because they're losing in console sales. Well, if they're losing in console sales and they want to do something like that, then how does that make sense for them to move forward? You see what I'm saying? Right. If I'm losing in console sales and I come up with Game Pass and I tell people, hey, Game Pass is $1 to get started and $9.99 or Ultimate for $14.99. If I'm losing, how is that making sense for me to do something like that? It's going to cost more for me to have to opt and waste more money, right, so to speak, to get something kickstarted like that than it would be just to take your loss, right? Just be like, we're not going to do it at all. So the notion that Microsoft would do something to better the gaming community and not reap the benefits off of it is hilarious. You're talking about a $2 trillion entity. This is a money-making machine. Microsoft knows how to execute. They have a reputation that's global. Okay, they're not just making moves just to be making moves for the sake of it. They learn from their mistakes. And they're not too proud to ask. They're not too proud to ask the community, hey, what do you think we should do? They have a little bit of humbleness, about a little bit of meekness about themselves. And this is why you see things over there. Listen, I'm not saying that Game Pass is the greatest thing that ever happened to gaming, but I'm going to say it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. As far as giving people more for the buck. When has that ever been done in gaming?
Right. And I got a story to tell. My young cousin, he came over to play my Xbox Series X. He's getting ready to get a PS5. He's a PlayStation fan.
Okay.
But part of his childhood, what he remembered, he liked playing the old Call of Duties and the SSX and skate games. That's what he liked playing because he played those games all the time. Well, he went from the PS3 to PS4 where he could no longer play those games. So he came over here and played my Series X, and he was playing, the old Call of Duties, SSX, and Skate. And he said, well, man, these are games I remember I like playing so much. I can't play them on my PlayStation no more. But, he said he's going to get an Xbox Series X because those are games he enjoyed playing back in his childhood days, back in 2008 and 2009. So and people tell me, well, backwards compatibility is not worth it, but you always going to remember games that you enjoy. You're going to have those moments you want to go back to. And I can guarantee you, some PlayStation fans, once they go further up into like PS6 and all that, and PS7, they're going to reminisce and want to go back and play those PS4 games because they're going to remember those games they enjoyed.
Right. You're right. This situation with Activision right now is crazy. The Call of Duty situation that's going on right now has got a lot of gamers aggravated right now. A lot.
I'm gonna, we'll get to that later. I'm gonna uninstall all my Call of Duties on my system because what y'all did to people and stuff, and they making this game. I'm just because I do have my cousins and all that come over here and play that stuff, and I'm just gonna take it off because, stuff like that. You in 2021, you still treating people like dirt in a job working environment.
Yeah, this stuff is crazy, man. I don't know, man. You can't get You can't get, like I said, this is about being humble, about being meek, and about being respectful. And nobody deserves, that type of stuff, man, at all. That type of stuff is for the birds, man. And we can leave that where it needs to be. People don't need to be disrespected at all. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people just like you who don't want to support. Yeah. They don't want to support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we'll get into that later. But I'm gonna tell you a story. About my work environment when I was working, and I just did things to piss people off. But I'll tell you about that later.
but honestly though, man, this. It's crazy out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff, you know, we live in a you know, a not perfect world. Okay, there's a lot of issues that go on, and you don't really see a lot of this coming out of the Xbox community. It exists. It's not perfect, but you don't see stuff like this happening with Microsoft or Nintendo, really. When it comes to being sued and stuff from people within its own community like that. But PlayStation gets sued a lot. You know, this Activision Blizzard thing is just unfortunate, man. And you remember all the scrutiny EA used to get? Now EA's not looking so bad. EA's not looking so bad. Battlefield is going to be nice. Battlefield is bringing community. Battlefield is all about gaming. And EA seems to have it together moving forward. And that's all I ever asked for, Mr. KEEMA. When I wanted next generation, I wanted to move forward. So I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate of moving forward. I was telling people, hey, man, invest. Get ready for this next generation because Xbox is going all out and it's going to be a beautiful experience. So don't get down on yourself because you might not be able to get a head start. But keep your stuff, keep your savings going because more technology is coming out in the future. And you, because you were saving, might be able to grab something that's going to truly give your gaming experience a great indulgence, you know? And that's kind of like where I'm at. I'm kind of judging my next generation experience off of Halo Infinite. So the minute I get confirmation of when that's actually going to drop, I'm timing myself. That's when I'm going to start, you know, getting on my next gen, true next gen experience together. And I want to be settled in before that game comes out this year. But that's the game that I'm actually getting myself ready for. Because I'm you know, it's the 20th anniversary, man. There's no better way than to celebrate it by playing Halo Infinite. You just have to, man. I've been an Xbox fan for too long, you know?
You have to, yeah. I remember when the first Halo. You know, I remember when the first Halo came. I wanted it so bad. You know, I didn't have the money back then. You know, I wanted it so bad, and you know, actually, what had happened is I had sold some of my stereo stuff, equipment, just to get an OG Xbox and Halo.
Right.
Because I wanted that so bad.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, stuff like that. You know, if you want something, you know, you find a way to get it. You know, I would never go out and try to steal something just to have. So I never do that.
Right.
You know, there's no reason for somebody to go out and try to steal just to have something. That's silly right there.
Right.
You know, always be patient. I always tell people, you know, they make it. It's always going to be there. I mean, it always going to be there. You know, you just got to be patient.
That's right, bro. Patience is a virtue, man. Patience is a virtue, that's for sure. And, you know, you see a lot of the work that Microsoft has put in, and you can tell the differences. You can literally tell the differences on how they're actually reaping what they're sowing. They're not, you know, they're not okie doke in their community, man. You know, It's just crazy how that community accepts that type of treatment. Stop accepting it. And, you know, make Sony do better. You know, you have the power to do that. And there's a lot of people, man, who are leaving Sony, who are going to Xbox now because they see the difference. And a lot of them, man, they never gave Xbox a chance. So they don't even really know how good it really is. A lot of them just hate it because their friends hate it. It's like, you know, herd mentality. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, see, you know, my neighbor grandson, she lived across the alley from me. You know, her grandson always come over and play the Xbox with me. You know, and then he had left for about a year He had moved to the way on the other side of town. I think he moved up there in the colony somewhere. Well, he was going to school up there, and he come back and he started talking all that PlayStation fanboy stuff. You know, talking about GTA 6 is going to be exclusive to PlayStation. Y'all ain't got nothing. I said, where you hear all
Right.
this stuff at?
Right.
You know, he said, we talk about this at school. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got young kids, but you know, they talk about this stuff, the young kids at these middle school, junior high school, and elementary, and you know that they don't know about Xbox. You have a new generation of gamers that don't know about Xbox now, but now that you have my nephew, he goes to his school up there in Plano.
Right. Oh yeah, he's in Plano.
They
Oh
got
man, he's going to a good school.
Xbox Game Pass.
Right. He's in Plano. He's going to a good school, man. He's up
Yeah,
there.
he goes to school up in Plano.
Wow. Yeah,
And
man.
all his friends, they talk about Xbox Game Pass. That's what they talk about now. So Game Pass is the talk in junior high school.
Right. Wow.
You
Yeah.
know, because he said because some of his friends they're getting Xboxes and I never forget when he came over, he first saw my Xbox Series X, he didn't know I had it. And he saw, "Ooh, that's the Xbox Series." I said, "Yeah." And he started jumping up and down. He called his mama. He
Right.
called his mama and stuff. Yeah, mama, he got the Xbox Series X. This is what we was talking about. This is what everybody talking about at school.
Right.
Yeah, so. But you know, the thing about the PlayStation community is young kids, they listening to these toxic YouTubers, PlayStation YouTubers that's spreading them false lies. And they think all that stuff is true, you know, and that's what you see on Twitter is what their young kids repeating what these
Exactly.
toxic PlayStation YouTubers are saying and playing. And you know, they talking about well, all the Xbox exclusive games not coming out till 2024 and 2025. But you know, I already know once you say that, I already know where you're getting that information from.
Right.
Yeah. So
You know, like I said,
but
man, well, I get it. I understand the culture war. I understand things that, you know, people want to, you know, bring out the sides and form great competitiveness. I get all of that. But being stupid about it doesn't help the situation. Like, that's not where it's cool. Like, don't be dumb about it. Like, really tell off the differences. Differences of why I like Xbox. Number one is their memory. Their memory is together. Their memory is well put together. Their cloud saving aspect is well put together. I don't have to worry about if I lose my game or something. All the things that I've ever done in it is saved for me. So if
saved.
that's right. I got so many features that I enjoy. You know, it's just as a gamer investing in my time with Xbox, it makes sense.
Yeah. Xbox is doing things that no other console is doing. I mean, you can stream a fourth generation of game from your console to your phone and play it on the go.
Facts.
Right. And you know, they doing things like that. And you know, some people think that's a bad thing. I said, well, how's that a bad thing when you can just take all the games that you bought on your console and stream it over to your phone, you know, when you're on a road trip. If you're in a good Wi-Fi network area, you can play your games. Well, you sitting up in a car bored on a road trip, pull that phone out.
That's right. You know, I'm looking at the chat, man. And it's just crazy some of the stuff they saying, and it's just good. You know, it's a lot of stuff. No. I was listening. I was just reading some stuff. Like you got Vodka in here was saying was proud when my daughter said her friends at school were bragging about their Forza cars. You know, this guy goes around in our community streets painting these Forza cars and bringing comedy to them. You know, you got You got Stone King throwing out digital codes on the show. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Digital codes.
Yeah.
You got
awesome.
You got T Reaper out here putting his 2 cents into things. You got Hyperfang out here putting his 2 cents into things. And I was just saying, man, you can sit here and the chat can bring its own aspect on Di-RRec Gaming. I love going back, reading what they keep telling them, KEEMA, and they don't believe me, right? But you know what I'm saying is true. When I say I'm a fan of them. This is the whole purpose of Di-RRec Gaming. I do this so that they come in and I actually go back and just kick it on whatever they saying. And I like to, go back to the shows and read what y'all had to say. Because a lot of times you guys are what I feed off of anyway. A lot of my thoughts and concepts come from just watching y'all on Twitter throughout the day and sparking a conversation for me to do a show. I owe my shows to them. So I can't sit here and act like, I do all of this by myself or have that mindset. I just can't. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to ask y'all for any money. It's hard for me to act like that. It really is. I struggle with that because that's never been my focal point. It's never been my focal point. I've always just wanted to do this just for the fun of it. Just because, it gives me something to do. It's a pastime. This is my baseball. This is my basketball. You know what I'm saying? This is my sports. I like gaming. I like the community. And you guys don't have to you guys don't have to take the time out of your life to hear what we got to say over here. That's why it makes it so appreciative. Because we do this thing and then y'all come and support, man. This is why Stone King gives back. Stone King was there in my earlier days of Di-RRec Gaming. He was there. He's not doing anything he hasn't been doing since the jump. He's been doing this. He hasn't changed what he's been doing within the Xbox community when he's bringing out codes. He hasn't changed that.
Yeah. Stone King is true dude.
Everybody has their ups and downs with people. The beautiful thing is when you can make it right. That's the beautiful thing about this whole situation is when you can make things right with people. Don't let this stuff cloud you too hard, man. Think somebody. Because we're all nobodies, man. The only thing that makes us somebody is how we treat each other. That's when we become somebody. You're somebody on how you treat somebody, man. Not who you are. You're not more important than nobody. And that's just facts. I couldn't make a immature show today. I got Mr. KEEMA up on here, who does so much behind the scenes, who I've been knowing for 6 years, consistently. When I have something I want to talk about, even in real life in general, I can hit him up. And to think that all that came from just by being in the Xbox community, man. There's some great people out here. But you just find your lane. Don't worry about it. People never want to give you a chance. Don't worry about it. People got their conceptions about you, whatever. Or, oh, you know what? I'm going to look a certain way because I'm kicking it with this person. If that's your attitude, man, stay away from me. Stay away from me because I'm a grown man. I don't play that middle school stuff or that high school stuff. That's too lame for me. Yeah. I pay my own bills. I drive my own car. You know what I'm saying? I live in my own house. I buy my own food. Nobody out here does that for me. So on the reality note, I take care of myself. Unless somebody out there on the interweb takes care of me, then that's a whole nother story. Until that happens, I don't have to switch up, change up, and change anything about me because of how you feel on the internet. People know when something is authentic, man. They know when something is authentic. Yeah, do I get trolls? Do I get people who give me a hard time on the internet? Of course I. But do I lose my mind about it? Of course I don't. I do more laughing on it than I do anything. Do I go trolling people? Of course I don't. That's boring. Like, let people talk, man. Let people have their opinions. It's all opinions anyway. You know, they wanna say that's something that is better than what I play on, and they think it's better, and they want to throw Metacritic scores up to me, and they want to say how because a Metacritic scored it high, it's better than what I'm playing. Let them. The bottom line is what's happening right now. In about in a couple more weeks, man. By the time this month is over with, we're gonna have so many games to be playing. We're not gonna even have time, and that's where my joy is gonna come at. I want the Xbox community to blow up and to show the gaming industry why we're the best gaming community. Because when you start showing those clips and when y'all start talking about gaming, the gaming community as a whole becomes more beautiful because of the Xbox community. Notice how everything caught a wrench in the matrix because Xbox got it together. And isn't it funny? And I could be wrong, but it's just funny to me on how when Xbox got it together, everybody wanted to start sounding like they know what they're talking about.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So even the fact that Xbox getting together, that simple fact alone has made the industry better. Because now people are out here talking like they got some sense. So the mystery was all along that Xbox just needed to get it together. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it sounds like. And that's the way it feels. Because before this, it was just, everything was just stupid, man. The way we valued success, the way we value performance, the way we value visuals, man, was based off of pure silliness at its lowest form. It was crazy, man, the kind of stuff we were saying 7 years ago. It was crazy.
Yeah, things have really changed, you know. And I just see how everything has just changed because you have more Xbox YouTubers popping up, you know, doing positive Xbox news. You know, that's a good thing that things are not like what it was back in 2014 and 2015.
That's right.
People were scared to say anything about Xbox, you know.
That's right, man.
I'm neutral, you know. I would never say I'm a neutral. I said, you know, back then I said, well, you know, I have a PS3, but I still prefer Xbox. But back then when I had a PS3, I said I like Uncharted, you know, I like Heavy Rain, you know, and I was actually playing Killzone 2 and 3 more than Call of Duty, but you know, the PlayStation community, they did not support Killzone. Those Killzone games 2 and 3.
Right.
Because those games, those communities died in 2 months right after those games came out. There was nobody playing. Everybody went straight to Call of Duty.
Right.
You know, Xbox community, we're gonna like Gears, Sea of Thieves, you know, even all of the older Halos. We still support those games. We still play them. They're old games, but we still support them.
Right.
Because those Microsoft is not going to shut down those servers because those servers are still active.
Right.
They have a lot of people still play those games.
Yeah, you're right. Hasn't went anywhere. It hasn't went anywhere.
See now, what Sony announced earlier in the year that they were shutting down the Killzone servers because nobody's playing it.
Right.
Games. So
That's right.
They shut down all the servers. So if you're not playing those games, I mean, don't get mad at the company because they shut down the servers. I mean, get mad at your own community.
Right. And you know, it's a good thing that you said that because even now it's even worse, right? Because it just seems like PlayStation just didn't have it together, man, for this next generation. I don't know what it is. Like I keep saying, it's either that and with their engineers or something, just couldn't get it together, or it's just the fact that Microsoft and AMD had the bigger partnership, and it was just no matter what happened, that it just wasn't going to happen for them because this was deep money involvement, man, deep pockets, and it was about pushing this whole industry forward for the first time on a galactic scale. So when you're thinking about PC and console, nobody's thinking Nintendo or PlayStation to do that. I mean, when you think about it, nobody's thinking those two. You know, you're going to think Microsoft's been around PC gaming. Okay, so that makes sense. Steam's been around in the PC market. So that makes sense. So when you started seeing Microsoft and Steam mingling, putting each other in the store, Steam was already there, and it's already settled better than it was the Windows 10 department. Gamers over there wasn't used to all their games going up in there and doing all that, doing all those steps to just get to their games. They rather prefer the Steam way because it was easy access. It was easy to get to and easy for them to get to their games. So it made more sense. So what did Microsoft do? Okay, you know what? It makes more sense. For the betterment of the gaming community, hey, we'll go over there, put our games on Steam's platform, and we'll just neutralize the situation through the charges. I think it's like, 70-30. So it is what it is. Steam eats, Microsoft eats. Steam isn't going to eat more than Microsoft. That doesn't make sense. But because Microsoft wants to use Steam's platform, yeah, nothing is free. So there you have it. They both eat.
Right there.
Yeah, and it grows, right, and it grows engagement. And understand that engagement is the key. Not as much, okay, when you think about sales, okay, sales is a part of success, right? Because if you don't sell anything, of course, it's not going to go anywhere. But engagement is what keeps things alive after the sales. You want to elaborate on that?
You say engagement?
Yeah, I said engagement is the key after the sales. So it's like sales. Sales is without sales, of course, nothing gets up off the ground. But once you sell something, engagement is the key to keeping it around, keeping it relevant, and that's
keeping it relevant.
That's right.
Engagement does what keeps the community thriving is engagement. You got to keep people interested in that product you sold. I mean, you can have a multiplayer game like the Halos and the Gears, that keeps people coming back, every day. And then you have the Rainbow Six. Those engagements, those people go back and play those games every day. They can't put the controller down. My oldest nephew, he's hooked on Rainbow Six.
Right.
I play Rainbow Six a little, but he's hooked on Rainbow Six. He plays that every day. He almost like plays that religiously. So
right.
You have engagement. You have Gears. I have my other nephew. He's a Gears head. He likes playing that a lot. That's engagement. You're keeping people coming back.
Right.
And it's competitive gaming, what it is. You can make a single player game all you want to, but you can spend hundreds of millions of dollars making that game. But once someone finished that game, that's it. The game is dead. The game is probably dead after 2 months once everybody's finished. And then, what else there's to do with that game? I mean, you're not adding any DLC or any type of multiplayer to keep people coming back playing it. Unless you are one of those achievement or trophy whores that try to get everything out of it.
Right.
But other than that, there's no reason. There's no reason, to go back and play a single player game once you finish. I tried that. I tried that with Uncharted 2. Once I beat it on the PS3, Uncharted 2. I tried to go back and play it, and I just couldn't get into it because I knew what was all the things was going to happen. So I say, I don't want to do this because I already know what's going to happen. I just put the game down and left it. They're just a game that's just set there. So
Right.
that's that engagement. You know, once those games are gone, that's it. Once you finish it, that's it, and you probably don't want to touch it no more. It's a lot of games like that, but engagement on multiplayer games, you know, people are always going back because it's competitive.
That's right. That's right. Because it's competitive. And that engagement is where it's all at. Because just like when this COVID hit, now engagement is very important. Because even though you might not be able to find those consoles, are you playing those games? And, PlayStation Plus, we know the story about all this, right? We know the smoke and mirrors and everything about that. So regardless of what's being put out, just like when they try to talk about Microsoft sales and things like that, even when Microsoft doesn't even put out the sales like that, they put out the engagement. You can't always trust these sources because a lot of these sources depend on the hype title, so you can just click on it. It's not really about the truth. It's just about the hype title.
Yeah, it's not just the hype title. Yeah, because this one guy putting up Xbox sales on Twitter. I said none of this is true because I said these numbers are made up because Microsoft don't report their sales number. I said those sales numbers are only reported to stockholders and shareholders. That stuff is private. So once it's private, they don't leak this information out to some website. I said that's just people making up numbers.
Now, here's something No, go ahead. No, here's something that I'm pointing out that you.
Go ahead.
Here's something that I'm pointing out that probably you can't see if you're not looking on your phone. You could probably look on it afterwards. But you remember when they always talk about how, with Game Pass, our games are free, right? We don't want to buy our games and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Or we're cheap or we're too broke, right? You know how it is. You know the naysayers. But I'm going to show y'all something about the PlayStation Plus platform. And the percentages are out. Now, these are the things that a lot of people don't want you to know. This is what I like to do. I like to reveal the things that a lot of people just don't talk about. They like to stay in the dark, in the smoke, in the shadows, and just keep it at a basic level of understanding. But here's where it gets good. PlayStation Plus finally started to kick itself off after 2018. This thing has been out for 10 years. I want to know, everybody, this thing has been out for 10 years. Do you know that Game Pass has only been out for 3 years? And it's already surpassed 23 million subscribers in 3 years. So let's just say, when I'm looking at PlayStation, right? When it took them roughly about, I would say 6 years. 6 years to get over the 20 million mark. Now, when you think about when that happened, that was in 2015. It originally came out in 2010. So about 5 years, okay? But within the 6 year, it was about 26 million. Just put it like that. When you think about that, it took another 5 years to double that. Another 5 years. So when you're thinking about that, if it's on its trajectory, another 5 years. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because when I look at Game Pass, right? Game Pass started in 2017. And by within 3 years, it was already over 23 million within 3 years. So if it's projected right, why you think I said by the end of this year it's at 40 million? Because I'm looking at it like this. If you take another year, that's easy 10 million. That's an easy 10 million. Right there. I'm not talking about doubling it. I'm just saying that's an easy 10 million. When you think about all the things that are being included, because Game Pass gets better, right? EA Play got added. All these little intricate values that have been added to the service brings more value, which will bring more customers in. So it was easy for me to project that. But on top of that, what's funny is how they say the whole aspect about us having free games, right? That they're willing to pay their $70 over free games. Well, when you think about it, the majority of the reasons why people subscribe to PlayStation Plus, 40% of them play online multiplayer, which is Call of Duties and stuff. We know that's their number one game they play. So it's not a surprise that we're looking at the 40% right now. But what's funny to me, now you ready for this, Mr. KEEMA? And the chat, what's funny to me is that only 10% less of that. So 30%. So there's only two aspects of the reasons, the most powerful reasons. This is what I'm saying. The two most powerful reasons why people subscribe to PlayStation Plus is online multiplayer, which is at 40%, and monthly free games. Free, that word free came up. Monthly free games at 30%. Those are the two biggest reasons. The other two reasons that are lesser than that, 18%, is game discounts and then cloud storage for game saves. That's their lowest percentage. All right? 33% overall satisfaction with PlayStation Plus. Not even half. All right? The strongest. All right, 33%. It's okay. You know? All right, 19%. 23% are like, well, you know, it could be better or whatever. And then there's a big gray area. So, why are they making fun of the fact that Game Pass offers a lot of free games when that's their second biggest reason as to why they subscribe to their own service is for the monthly free games? Now you see why I've always been laughing at them? Because it's easy to pull the sheet right over their eyes. It's easy.
Yeah, they, the same thing. We want.
I wanted to show everybody that.
Yeah, we want titles to launch into Game Pass. Well, they want titles to launch in PlayStation Plus. They're asking for KEEMA, their game coming out next month, to launch in PlayStation Plus. Because
It's crazy.
they feel like they should get that game just like people in Game Pass.
Exactly.
They can front and hate on Game Pass all they want to, but like I tell them, I say soon as Sony announced one, I say y'all gonna be having parades and celebration up and down the street.
Right. Because that's how it operates. That's how it operates, right?
That's how it operates. Yeah. You're going to have parades and celebrations. But going back to Game Pass, I remember when Game Pass launched, it had, I think it was like 80% Xbox 360 games and OG Xbox games. And then you have a sprinkle of new games where people were hating on it, talking about, well, this ain't going to be nothing, man. Look at all these Xbox 360 and OG Xbox games. But people, I'm a visionary. I was a visionist. I always look into the future, see how things can grow and turn out. I say once these subscriptions get up to about 10 million, you're going to have people knocking at Microsoft doors, begging to put their games into Game Pass.
That's right.
Once this thing gets to 20 million, you may see some third-party games launching into Game Pass. So I always tell people that. I say, you starting out right now, this is what you got, but as this thing grows, you have developers, publishers, wanting to put their games there. And I bet guarantee you, if this thing gets to 40 million at the end of the year, holiday season, watch you gonna see AAA third-party games launching in Game Pass.
Exactly. And I'm telling you right now, these devs are extremely happy about Game Pass. They're
Yeah, they are.
extremely happy about it. Extremely happy about it. And the scent, I'm telling you right now, this scent's coming out. It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Oh, the Ascent's gonna do big numbers Game Pass.
Big
You know,
numbers.
PC and the Xbox.
You're right. Big time numbers, man. And look at that engagement. Look at that community. Look at that community right there.
Yeah. You know, the best thing that happens for Game Pass is when Outriders and MLB The Show pulled in big numbers off of Game Pass. And you're gonna have a lot of big titles launching in Game Pass. I don't know what it's gonna be rest of this year. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Battlefield 2042, but I doubt it's that happen. But yeah, you're gonna see some big titles. This ain't the end of it, what we gonna see.
You're right.
Rest
This
of
is
the
gonna be
year.
a big. This is gonna be big right here, and this is beautiful stuff, man. We have something that is going to bring the essence of the Xbox community back to its original feeling, and that's just playing our awesome, great content of games. And it's been a minute since we've been in that situation. The glorious 360 days and the OG Xbox days are one of the best feelings I've ever had within the Xbox community. So I'm just ready to get back to that. And I can't wait to get my upgrades, finish out everything. I'm like I said, I'm picky, man. I'm picky when I buy my stuff, but I don't like to half step. You know, like Sick would be saying, there ain't no half stepping, and I know where he gets that from. That's from Big Daddy Kane. If y'all don't know their hip hop history,
Yeah.
but there ain't no half stepping here. So I like to get things that I like, fix up on things. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to actually get my camera and stuff right, put some things up, and just have fun with this generation. I wanted to have more fun.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay away from the tiresome, aspects of just wasted energy on things that don't really do anything for the community as far as building it up. But I wanted to really say, you know what? If I do more and show more, it's going to do the talking. So that's why you see me putting gaming back. You are the beginning of the actual direct talk coming back. I wanted to do direct talk. I used to do it over there on Mixer. So thank you, Mr. KEEMA, for believing in my vision to bring this back, because I haven't done this since Mixer, man. I haven't done this. And so I had to get some things, man, in order to make this happen again. So I'm once again, I want everybody to know that I'm back. Don't worry about if you're limited to things. Even if you just don't have nothing but a headset now, and you just want to get your voice heard, well, I'm back. All you got to do is hit me up on the Xbox, man. Leave a message and say, hey, I want to be a part of the next show. I got some things I want to get off my chest, and we can get it lined up for you. We'll get our mic checks ready. You know what I'm saying? The Xbox community has been very patient with me, because this is my way of giving back, Mr. KEEMA. This is my way of giving back. It's my most powerful way to give back to the community that I appreciate and enjoy. So why not reach back to people who don't have a voice, man? Doesn't have a platform to voice their opinions. So hey, man, you can use mine, because this platform was built upon the Xbox community and real gamers. So with that, Mr. KEEMA, man, I'm gonna end this. Thank you for being a part of it, man. I really appreciate you, my brother. And if you have anything else you want to say, if you even want to finalize the out, man, you can finalize this out. You got a topic that we might have left out that you want to speak on, go ahead. But do what you feel, man. The mic is yours, my brother.
You can follow me on Twitter, Mr. KEEMA. Just type in Mr. KEEMA, KEEMA. and you see the man, the
The
man
golden
with the
man.
golden face. That's me.
That's facts.
But if people ask me, I tell them a story about that, where I got that from. It was from a childhood show that I used to watch, and I'll tell them of that story
Yeah, you
and
told me about it.
where I got that from.
It's classic, man. Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, it's classic. I'll tell them where I got that from. But if people really want to know my first name, I don't give them a last name. But if you just hit me up in a message, you just call me Kelvin, Kelvin. That's my first name, Kelvin.
Yes, sir. And hey, man, I just want to say I appreciate you, my bro. I appreciate you, man, for everything that you do in our community. There's a lot of people who got a lot of respect for you, and I'm one of them. So thank you, man,
Yeah.
for letting Di-RRec Gaming be the first time you was ever heard, man. It only was right for me to keep bugging you, my bro, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You put
know,
the ripple in
yeah.
that pond, bro, long time ago.
Right. I was kind of nervous at first doing this because I remember.
Hey yo, I'm about to Mr. KEEMA.
And putting it out.
Yo, Mr. KEEMA is about to be a regular on Di-RRec Gaming. You heard it here. His confidence is up now. We got to get him on. I'm putting that pressure on him. Look at him.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous doing it. I know you've been bugging me for about 2 years.
Man, 2 years,
3
bro.
years.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I was nervous, and sometimes I felt bad for not doing it because I had got invited to a lot of podcasts, and I turned them down because I was, just kind of nervous doing stuff like this,
Right. And that's understandable, man. And your story is probably the reason why many don't, But that's what I'm doing, man. I'm showing people that, hey, it's nothing, man. With me, I already do this, right? We do this. We talk about gaming. And I'm telling y'all the truth, man. I've been in some parties where some of the most beautiful shows that never were recorded happened. People would so and it never has been heard because it was in that party. And there was a show to be heard right there in the party, but doesn't exist because it never was recorded. And that was the birth of Di-RRec Gaming. And I was like, man, if I can get a little bit of what gets told in these chat rooms out there, this would be beautiful, man. So I'm so grateful that you took the time out of your day, man, on a Saturday out here in this beautiful, hot, scorching Texas weather to stop by on the porch of Di-RRec Gaming and have a seat with me, my brother, and do this once and for all. It means a lot to me, man, and this ain't going to be the last time I hear from you. That's definitely not happening. So I'm glad to have you on here, man. Mr. KEEMA in the building. I appreciate you, my bro. Let's get out of here, man. Tell everybody bye, Mr. KEEMA. I actually fixed my spaceship, man. So I probably might pick you up and we'll go to like Brazil or something, man. You know what I'm saying? That sound good to you, bro?
Hey, yeah, that's like, hey, we be flying over to Brazil on Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I love it. Hey, shout out to the mighty Xbox chat room out there and always giving me support. Everybody out there for the views, for the likes, the dislikes, for the comments, for the no comments. Hey, listen, I just want to say to the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it all. Everybody out there that keeps me laughing on Twitter, on Facebook, everybody out there that checks me out on the Instagrams, everybody out there that's been a part of me throughout my Mixer days, on my Xbox days. And I want to give a shout out to somebody out in the UK called Ramp Phonicus, man. I'm going to try to get him back. And Ziggy Stardust, I'm going to try to get him back. I want to get that Sea of Thieves going, and I want to get that State of Decay 2 going back again. We got some unfinished business to do on there as well. And also, I want to bring back community gaming to where the community asks me what kind of game do I want to play next. And they give me a couple games that they would like to be shown and just let me know. And I'll do my best. I'll pick the one I like, and we'll showcase it, man. We'll play it. and do the best I can on it, man. We'll talk over it and have some fun, y'all. So I want to bring that back as well. But I just want to bring a great gaming community essence back on Di-RRec Gaming because I miss it, really. I miss that. And thank y'all all for being patient with me once again. Shouts to everybody out there, y'all. For real. Everybody out there.
Appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Appreciate it.
My man Teknoblast on the 1s and 2. I got to give him a shout out as well, man. He's out there traveling and doing things with his family during the summer, man. So he'll be back. I'm going to be on his channel for a minute, kick it with him on his channel for a minute. But it's just beautiful times, man. It's a beautiful life, man. And like I said, keep it gaming. And if you like what we're about over here, man, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to this channel, man. It's Xbox centric, it's Xbox love, it's Xbox family. We do it over here. We do Xbox every single day over here. So if you enjoy Xbox and you about that Xbox life, man, feel free to welcome yourself home over here in the mighty Di-RRec Gaming community. As well, hit that notification bell and keep up with all my videos, man. And when I go live as well, even if I'm playing or I want to just make a breaking news statement and just bring it to y'all, please hit that notification bell. And don't forget to share the video if you really enjoyed and want to get it across to many people and friends and loved ones as possible. So I really appreciate the spread. I really appreciate y'all's patience and enjoyment for coming out here and making it worth my while to do this. This has been the New Legal representing Di-RRec Gaming. Thank y'all once again. Remember to keep it gaming, chase the one up in life, and we're out of here, folks. Until next time, I'll see y'all again. We out.
We out.